I'm Ryan Benson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'm Dylan Boyd.
We are the Pop Culturists, and we just went and saw Wonder Woman. Spoilers!
Big spoiler. Ares
Yeah.
is the big bad. Which revealed.
See, like for me, I was like, when not going into this movie, I knew that the general-looking guy, who's the actor, I can't think.
Danny Houston.
Danny Houston. I thought Danny Houston was Ares. Like, and so the movie leads.
I did think that for a
The
very
movie
long time
led to
as
him
well.
to be Ares, and that's
When he was popping the gas stuff. That's kind of actually what made me go, no, you're probably not actually now.
Yeah, true. Why would he probably guess that?
Why would he do that?
Well, that could keep him
But
going.
it was also the bad chick who makes all the chemical biological weapons. The way she said it to him was like, "This can restore your power," which it gives him like a temporary. It's like the Injustice, the pills that they pop to give him temporary superpowers. So it was like a gas that you sniff to give you that. And the way she phrased that was like, "Oh, maybe he's Ares. Maybe she's trying to
because as you said, you know, like
up."
They talk about the start of the story where Ares gets taken down and loses his power.
Zeus's big last thing was to
fuck him up,
fucking zap Ares down. So what I got from the end battle with Ares, because it's revealed
that Lupin,
for the whole movie, Wonder Woman thinks that the sword is God Killer.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which it's not. Ares says, "No, you are the God Killer."
And that was a good moment when she smashed the sword. And I'm like,
yeah.
What?
And then
did you have to go back and get something different?
Well, what kind of
can we just before getting into that? There's that moment where we see Lupin. And she's like, goes to pull the sword out, and she's pretty much like, just wait a minute. Jumps on the roof, gets the sword,
it
comes
cuts
back
to
down.
something else. She comes back and she's like, okay.
She's like just coming back into
and the
the
guy's
frame.
like, I don't know.
I'm just waiting for this.
Yeah. But she's a God Killer in this, yeah. So what confused me at one point is when Ares is using his lightning powers on her, and her braces absorb it, and then she uses it against him.
Yeah.
Is this her new like God Killer power where she uses her own powers against them?
Because
that seems to be what happened.
God Killer power.
Well, yeah, that is. But
I thought it was the bracelets, but it was the.
Because initially he's shocking the fuck out of her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm getting zapped. Oh, that really sucks."
Yes.
And then
I don't remember them saying that. But yeah.
And then I read it in her face.
But then she has a little episode, and she comes back all rejuvenated, and then all of a sudden the lightning is getting absorbed into her braces, and she shocks it back at him. So I'm thinking, is that her power as a God Killer to like use their own powers against them? Maybe.
I think you're reading way
or
too much.
Am I reading too much into it?
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
Okay. One thing that I'm really glad didn't watching the trailers for this movie. The thing that kind of pissed me off the most was this forced humor and that other character. What's her name?
Lucy Davis is in it. I don't know what
whatever Lucy Davis's character was. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hate her character, and she's in it.
She had maybe a minute and a half of screen time.
Because I'm like, yeah, she's gonna be like that. The way they're portraying her character, she would be the equivalent of like the Rebel Wilson or the Melissa McCarthy, as in like she's just in there to make jokes and quips. I'm the funny girl, meh. And like
she wasn't.
She made those quips, made a couple of the quips that we see in the trailer, and then went off, and then came back and was actually relevant to the story. And I'm like, fuck yes, because I thought I was gonna hate you. You're all right.
She was good. I really, really liked the way that they teased it out and gave her the superhero moments when she pauses, when she takes a shield, when she lands, and the whole time when she first see the Wonder Woman costume blurry, and you're like, okay, we know what that is. When he sees her dressed up, but she's got the cape over the top, he's like, nice costume. And then finally, when she gets in the trenches, and they're like, you can't do everything, you can't find everything. She's like, well, eat all the dicks.
Fucked.
And then slow-mo's around, whips it off, and then the shield and then you see her walk down the battlefront.
That scene is so good.
And she's just, the music swelling, and you're just
they
like,
didn't even use that music there either. No, they didn't use anything there either.
And it's that, awesome. You know, like, one person can make a difference. If you...
Yeah, it was regardless of, you know, how kind of average Dark Knight Rises is, right? When I saw it, there was that moment where they're fighting in the street, and it's the police versus the Bane's army, and they're all lost hope. They've got nothing, and then Batman comes in and restores their hope, and they fucking run into it, and like that brought me to a little bit of emotion, like back in the
rally.
Day. Cause I was like, fuck yeah, like they have something to fight for again. Yeah. And they talked about in this, like, these guys have not moved an inch in a year, and that's like the gritty and the shittiest part about World War
Trench
I.
warfare, man.
The trench warfare sucks.
And really, they had one machine gun over there.
They're pretty much
Yeah.
One machine gun.
Like,
But
and
it's just the
you
way
don't know
that,
what's
and
over
like
there.
sort of like they sort of showed that everyone in this trench, they've been here, they're fucking hating it, they're miserable, they're sad, and then like by her going up and just fucking being a god and running at these people made them go, oh shit, and they were able to get up and take,
and it was even cool. It was even cool
moved me a
where
little bit.
she goes across to the trench and then she's literally suppressed by the amount of gunfire because it's shown that guns do kill them because at an opening scene where
the Amazons at least.
The Amazons at least, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe her, not sure, but she keeps deflecting the bullets, so she must be scared of them or something. But she's suppressed. she's drawn all their fire with the shield, and she's like, tick, 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 and it was really cool. And then the real heroes of that scene were the Steve Trevor and his gang of merry men. The merry men come over, and then that's when they can push it forward. So it's, even though she's the god superhero, she couldn't. She still needs people to help her.
Well, and what makes it even better is because they're the real hero. I mean, not putting her down, but they're the real heroes because their lives are on the line, and they're like, "Fuck, I don't want to do
one
this."
stray
but
bullet,
they still do
one
it.
stray bullet,
I mean?
and they're fucking gone.
Yeah,
I think I want to quickly talk about what we think our single coolest scene of the movie was, because for me, the sniper in the clock tower. When there's a sniper in the clock tower and they can't get to him, and she can't jump that high, she can only jump a little high. And they kind of, Steve and the merry men get down with the board on their back, and they
throw her back to the...
Yeah, and so she jumps on it and they throw her up like really high. And at that point there hadn't been that big... And when she hits that clock tower and the whole top half just erupts, I was like, fuck, that was awesome.
I think
that
I saw in my peripheral, you went...
Yeah, I did. I was like, I had a few of those moments where I was like, that's cool. But for me, because that kind of kicked off the okay, now shit's starting to get serious. But just the impact of that moment, because nothing like that had happened just yet. That was so cool. Do you have like a single cool scene?
I'll go. Mine's pretty easy because we just talked about it. Mine is when she gets up and out of the trench, and then that's my moment.
Yeah. I think because you never quite spoilers. We're in spoilers anyway. She's not made of clay. Zeus and her mother had her. Yeah. And that's what she's like, a god.
Yeah.
So you don't know the extent of her power. She can leap really far. She's like digging in and climbing up, and you're like, okay, she got some kind of super strength.
She can kind of fly towards the end a little bit.
Yeah, she was flying in the air for a while. But the bit where close to that scene,
that whole scene
went for
from the trench warfare to the end of that whole scene is just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, especially when you don't know her extent, and she just rams up against the tank, and then she's like, "Fuck you, tank," and lifts it up and flips it. And I said I wanted to see her flip a tank, and she did.
Yeah.
But even then, as many times you've seen people smash through windows, there's a part where she leaps across the I think she beat up a couple of dudes, and then she was running across the roof.
She
leaped through and then just smashed through the window, and it's just like.
And she lands. Yeah. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and there's that scene in the trailer where she smashes all those dudes.
Her Batman moment,
And then I can't remember if it was before or after, but then she runs across the roofs again, just like full on in force. Yeah. I'm here, Batman through the window.
I know we're getting into that and then this bit, but in that first scene where she's in that building, she has her first big multi-person fight, and there's that one dude left, and she looks at him, she's like. And then it cuts to the outside, and she's just knees him out the window.
Yeah.
But it's from the down shot when Steve and his merry men are running along. The camera's
that's
following.
What they see.
The camera's following them, and then but you can see the top of the screen. And then she comes out of the window with her knee out. And this poor motherfucker just
window and brick along with it.
Yeah. Took the whole framing out.
Because that's a good 20 minutes seems strong. 10-minute scene from the trench.
10 to 15.
Yeah,
to
15.
The end of them celebrating.
Yeah. But as we were talking about, the it really does not in the way Saving Private Ryan does, but it does show you the shit part of war that you don't get to see too much in the way that the town that they liberated in this big scene we've just talked about, when eventually a chemical weapon does go off in that town and fucking kills everyone, and she's in there and she's seeing it's the imagery is that you see dead kids' hands and stuff, everyone's fucking dead, and that moment on her face, just crumbling, and the confusion and the anguish and everything, that was a really powerful scene too. It just goes, she fucking nailed it. They nailed her character. she's not going to come out of Themyscira and then know what's going on and just be the superhero. You know, there's going to be, she's never seen this world before, and I think they really portrayed that in her character, and she acted that character really, really well.
Because she actually had an arc.
Yeah.
Rather than everyone else just being like, I'm a superhero.
I'm a superhero now. I got to do stuff. Here, Cal. Here's your suit. Cool.
Yeah. I'm still mopey and confused, and now I got a suit and I'm mopey and confused.
The suit didn't help
But
at all.
The one sort of scene that I kind of... you guys were bullshitting before we went in about how... What's the bet she has to email Bruce Wayne at some point? And the movie opens with her getting a Wayne Industries briefcase, and there's a photo, and she finishes the movie with, hey, Bruce.
Thanks.
That's a lot of evidence that he's like given away. His DNA is probably on it. He's got his handwriting on it. Yeah, but it's just sloppy. Come on,
but she's
Batman.
not a detective, though.
No, but other people could be. The Riddler could get his hands on it.
Yeah, notice how she did not... She just popped it open.
She didn't have to do the lock.
No lock. She went... So it's like it's been open this whole time.
Yeah.
The guy in the truck's been like, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's a picture. That's weird.
I did like how she wore her glasses, and when they were trying on outfits, and the women in the audience were laughing.
I thought it was a good scene. It was a
like,
cute
I've
scene.
worn dresses before. I haven't, so I don't know.
Oh, she's wearing heels for the first
she's
time.
lifted it up. Watch out. Pretty woman scene. I thought that...
she kicked it ripped. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But when she got her proper costume on, that she wore the trench coat,
Looking
and she had the
fantastic.
glasses on as well, that little touch from the comic books as well, like they didn't last long.
Yeah, but and the next moment was a small little fight scene. They come off, they get stomped. And
Straight away. Yeah.
Seconds
But
later.
and it was a bit reminiscent of Superman, where he catches the bullet in the first 1978 one, where she's deflecting it on the side thing.
Yeah.
But she looked great.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
There is that comic book callback. I think it was a movie. I can't remember which one. You'll know, with the ice cream. When she eating the
that
ice
was
cream and
cute.
she licks it and she's like, "This is fantastic. You should be proud. It's Justice League. It's War or Doom.
Yeah,
Which one had Darkseid in it?
Doom.
Doom. It was Doom because she's like the ambassador for the Themyscira to America, and then she
Yeah, I
gets
remember
out, and the little girl's like, "I dropped my ice cream." She's like, "What is it?" And they had that little scene of like, you should be proud for this achievement. She said that exact line, and they were like, "Cool."
Yeah,
nice
we
little
didn't
throwback.
mention this in the main part of the review, but just credit to Patty Jenkins. This movie
fucking
was
oath.
directed exceptionally well.
Yep.
Like, just to set up a lot of these shots is just so
And not
good.
to take away from Patty Jenkins at all either, but I do wonder how much of an influence Jeff Johns had now in his new role as well.
See, that's the thing. So Jeff Johns is now essentially the head of DC movies. He's the Kevin Feige at this point, which I was hoping he would always end up becoming to that place, and it looks like he's finally there. And he sort of came into this part towards the end of Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was very pretty much fucked at this point, so he couldn't do anything.
It's not salvageable.
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, I'll work on Wonder Woman. And
Put some music in it, make it better.
yeah, I'd like to think that he had sprinkled his magic on this, and hopefully he's done the same with
Even
Justice
just
League.
being an advisor in terms of law and the characters and all that.
Yeah.
If this is the new era of having Jeff Johns as,
Overseer.
overseer, cool. We're starting to look like we're in a good spot on the DC side.
I'd say I don't think he's grand powerful or anything. I don't think anything's changed at his will. I do still think DC Studios will try to intervene because that's what they do. But I'd like to think that by seeing this and seeing the good response that comes out of this, they learn that maybe we shouldn't meddle like we did.
Yeah,
because this movie didn't feel like meddling.
No,
this movie felt.
Apparently, I
great.
read a few days ago that Patty Jenkins said there are no deleted scenes.
Yeah. So I heard there were reshoots.
A few reshoots,
and Gal Gadot was 5 months pregnant at the time, so they had like an exposed belly part that was covered in green, so that they just kind of mapped in her thing.
Well,
I was
they did
like,
that well because I
that's
didn't know
fucking
that.
amazing.
But yeah, apparently, Patty Jenkins said there are no deleted scenes either. So that's even
cool.
better. It wasn't a long movie.
That makes me happier as a movie because it's like everything was integral to the overall
It was
story.
a 144-minute movie. Like, it's a
fucking
nearly 2.5 hour long movie.
so
But
good.
having said that,
After
I wasn't
40 minutes of garbage ads and 2 trailers.
Yeah. But having said for the movie length, like it felt that long, but I never once picked up my phone to check the time. Not once.
Yeah.
Ever. I was just, this is cool. Like you said in the other part of the review, the first one, the pacing was awesome. There was never a point where I was like, like anytime Lex Luthor was on the screen in BVS, was like, okay, here we go again.
I'm going to pull
Here we
out
go
my
with it.
phone.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my phone. It was I'm stoked. I'm fucking
Yeah.
stoked.
I really liked Robin Wright at the start. She was the sister that was training her. I thought she was really good. And then when she was kicking ass on the beach and shooting like
the triple
she did-
arrows.
she did the shield.
So
thing,
when
shot
she
triple
died,
arrows.
like she actually had oomph.
yeah.
Well, speaking of deaths, when Ares had Wonder Woman down, as he does, because he's the bad guy, and Steve Trevor sacrifices himself to destroy all
You
these
mean
chemical
Captain
weapons.
America?
Didn't see that coming.
I mean, what? What movie am I watching?
Whatever.
As very
Holy
reminiscent
shit!
of
Oh my
First
god,
Avenger.
that all just clicked. Holy shit!
Yeah. big
When
time.
he died,
He didn't land in
and
the
she
ice,
saw
though.
that off in the distance
No.
in the sky, the
Well,
plane
maybe.
exploded that he was in, and then she had a like little
She
psycho
went,
fit.
she went Super Saiyan.
She went Super Saiyan and just started fucking massacring all
That
these German
looked
guys.
Pretty fucking horrible.
It looked
It didn't
horrible.
look, yeah,
It-
too
it-
fresh.
and
No,
there's just
no.
like shit going on.
Yeah.
She's like,
It's because she's moving faster than the screen can follow.
no, just because it looks
But-
shit.
No, I'm not talking about how the scene looked, but the feeling of that
Yes,
scene.
the feeling was good.
The,
but I was just
the
like,
the vibe I was getting during that scene is like,
the Marvel,
fuck,
the
she's
Marvel.
fucking destroyed, like that killed her, and she's so mad, and but then Ares was kind of like, he essentially said, I was waiting for him to say, let the hate flow through you.
Yeah, and like,
'Cause
see,
he was edging on that whole, let the rage come, and
speaking of that though, like sort of bit on the nose when she sort of as she walked, she's like, "No, Ares, it's because of love." I'm like,
she closed the movie with that too.
Like-
Love can save the world.
when
and-
like yeah, like I understand, like that's the point. You didn't have to say it. You didn't have to put it in a sentence. You didn't
Yeah.
put it on the nose. We understood that the people, like people are shit, but there are some redeemable factors. You don't need to tell this guy like, and that because the second I've gone, oh,
well,
like that's bad writing in that one
like
moment.
they set up when they were in the boat together, and she was talking about the 12 books of erotica, or
Yeah.
passion or pleasure.
Yeah, pretty much what it
Kama
was.
Sutra.
But
Kama
everything
Sutra.
he had to explain to her, what's marriage? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
And they never touched upon love. I'm sure she feels love in Themyscira for her family, but
Not
there
man and
was a
woman
scene
love.
where they kissed and then hotel roomed. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Oh,
But-
okay, I can talk about that.
But
right
they
now.
never spoke of he never mentioned love, Steve Trevor. She never mentioned love, like even if he's like, oh, one day I might settle down with someone I love, and what does love mean between a man and a woman? So for her to say love at the end kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I
Yeah.
get love is the thing
No, I
that saves
think
love,
that
but she
was
never saw
more-
like what are those? What's the father and the daughter doing, hugging there, crying together? And he's like, oh, he loves her. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that
but
would've
no, I
been
think that
nice,
was
yeah.
more her. I don't think it needed to be said because it's like she learned what that was throughout the whole movie. It's not something. Love's not something you need to. This is going to sound really fucking corny, but it's not something you explain in words. It's something you learn to feel.
but then she did explain it in words at the end, like
And
it's love,
and that's where it got bad.
Yeah, but
know?
I really did like the scene where her ears were blasted and she couldn't hear him,
yeah,
and I wanted to know what he was saying.
yeah.
And then stupidly somehow she got a hearing back in the past. I'll just movie plot device, but it was effective in him talking to her, and I was like, "That's really good." She's like, "I can do it." Don't
And
you?
the symbolism of him giving her the watch, his watch from his father as well. Is,
Yeah.
he knew like he's gone,
We don't have any time.
It was
I wish
the
we
end of
had
his
more
time.
and it was
time.
kind of like also like he must have realized that she can't hear me because of what she's saying. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? So he's like gives her the watch and goes,
Yeah.
and that would have made her realize, fuck. Like,
I was in a very similar boat. Like with the whole idea, a lot of the early conversations that they had between Steve and Diana were very not sexually charged, very sexually focused. And I was like, did it need to be? Like, did they need to constantly talk about like his weenus and
but
fucking?
it was the first time she'd ever seen a man, so she had questions.
Yeah, I understand that too. But then time had passed. They're on a boat, and she's like, "Fucking right."
It was like 6 minutes into
In
them meeting each other.
in movie
Yeah.
time, but in action, if you were to structure out that in real
later in
time,
the day.
there's a bit of time between when she sees his wang when they get on the boat, right?
You don't know how much she got to see him during that time.
No, but
either.
the point I'm
I get
making
what-
is
I
like
get what you're
I once again, if this was to be the movie that was so fucking woman powering, it's like why like I understand everyone has sex and everyone enjoys sex, but it's like the whole idea of like. Can we have a discussion that doesn't involve around her being sexual in some way?
No, I didn't see it
was
like that
kind
at
of
all.
Matter of fact, but I did like him trying to be a gentleman and like, I'll go over here.
he was
and-
he's like, look, I'm not
she's
going
like,
to
why?
try
And
bang
he's
you.
like, just whatever. I'll just sleep over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was my only concern was the whole like sort of the sexualization of not in like a like I'm not like some crunchy old man. It's just like it didn't. To me, it's like I'm like, are you going there?
I thought it was a good way to to smoothly and easily bring in how much she doesn't fucking know about this world at all.
Yeah.
Because that seemed that's all she'd seen of the world at that point. She'd only seen a guy and his dick, and she's like, "What is this?" And that's until she got out of that bubble of Themyscira. That's when she was like, "What is all of this?" So between that then and then, it's kind of all they would have really had to talk about.
And I guess talk about like you know they're like there's the organic world and there's like the natural world, and like one of the naturalist things we do is want to fuck things. So it's like. It makes sense.
They didn't say that though.
No, it's not one woman. The natural desire.
But
to fuck things.
they never sexualized her ever.
Yeah.
Not even once.
And that was, I guess that's why that got my craw a little bit. Not because she wasn't like, oh, I'm sexy. Like I'm like, you were so close to just not having any sexual content in here at all. You were so close, and I think that would have made the movie better. So like, even if they just macked on, and you're like, all right, but
they might have need to like. There would have been like, what does she know what sex is? Like by her explaining.
Why is that
like,
important? That's not important to this overall war story.
No, but then when they have that moment, you don't want it to be all rapey in the, like
like she doesn't know what's
like,
going on.
what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, they need to establish. Look, I understand what it is, and I get the principles of it. And you got that joke that, women don't need men. It's a waste of time. There's no pleasure with men.
Yeah.
And the ladies were like, ha, yeah. You can hear it in the crowd.
I got too much in the movie page.
But well, this is going to be longer than the truth anyway. But that is all we have to say about
You should see it.
Wonder Woman. Like,
you should see it.
Without a doubt, this is a highly recommended film.
Don't wait for the Blu-ray. Don't wait for the DVD. Just go. Spend the $10.
I got to take the wife to go see it. And she'll be like, and then we'll be there. And she's like, haha, see? And I'm like, fuck.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm like, oh, god damn it. That's true. I don't pleasure you too well. I'm Ryan Besson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'm Dylan Bowden.
If you like that conversation, you can join in with many more on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher, as well as Facebook and all other social media things. The main ones you want to be a part of, though, are the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/thepopculturists. And we also have a Patreon now. If you do really, really like what you see, feel free to jump over there and check out the tiers. There might be a reward over there. It's right up your alley.
Yeah, might be.
I want to get right up your alley after that.
Now it's getting sexual.